Once you make a recording in your video editor, you'll end up with something that looks like this, a waveform. This is a line chart reflecting the recorded sound waves. The higher the peaks are, the louder the volume. These peaks help you measure whether or not the volume in your recordings is consistent and whether it's hitting a specific volume level. One of Pluralsight's audio standards is to hit a target volume range of -6 to -12 decibels, or dB. To ensure consistent volume across your course and other courses, the peaks of your audio should generally average within the -6 to -12 range. It doesn't have to be perfect. Some higher peaks and shorter peaks are fine, so long as most of the peaks are in this range. Ideally, you'll get something very close to this target range straight from the raw recording. If your audio looks like this with waveforms this tall, you need to reduce the gain. If it looks like this, try increasing the gain a little bit, or get a little closer to the mic when you record. You can make slight adjustments to the volume after you've recorded to better fit into the target range, but again, your raw recording will ideally have perfect volume if you have the right setup. Regardless of how you adjust volume, whether it's on your equipment or while editing, it's critical to avoid clipping. Clipping happens when the waveform peaks hit the maximum 0 dB volume and go past it. Any audio above that line gets clipped off and can become audibly distorted as a result. So don't go too loud. Always keep the highest waveform peaks below the very top. A regular setup and technique will greatly help your volume stay consistent, so you won't even have to worry about adjusting it while editing. At this point, you might be tempted to use post-recording filters and effects such as noise removal, compression, normalization, and equalization. However, we generally recommend against using most filters. Filters cannot fix bad audio. If your audio sounds subpar, you can't fix it after the fact. Always begin troubleshooting audio quality with your equipment and your environment first. If you have a good microphone and a good setup, you shouldn't need to use any filters at all. Having said that, one filter we can recommend is noise removal. Even with a very finely tuned recording environment, some background hum or static noise may be present in your audio. Noise removal helps identify this noise and reduce it throughout the entire recording. If you do choose to use noise removal, less is more. It's very easy to go too far with filters. For example, here is noise removal being applied too aggressively to this recording. Sounds awful, right? Audio filters need to be used conservatively with very specific settings. That's where your production editor comes in. Reach out to your production editor to get the exact settings to use.